Hello, and welcome back to From the Source podcast, episode 11. Today, we're going to be talking about mental health and a bit of running. So, this actually coincides with a book I've been reading, which is about mental health and how that's impacting in society in today's world. But kind of the mental health thing and running is linked in a positive way. And I think sometimes people who may or may not have mental health issues, don't realise how much running or some form of like low intensity exercise and just fresh air will actually just alleviate some of those issues or problems you might have. So it's going to be a quick one, going to be a short one, because we can talk for days about mental health and what's going on in the world and everything, but there's just 3 little points I'm going to make. So about why running helps mental health. So like any stress, anxiety, any moods people might be in. A few insights into kind of how running has helped parts of like my mental health, and then some tips for kind of using that running as a bit of like your meditation, your free time. So we'll just get straight into it. So why does running help with stress, anxiety, anything else you want to call mental health? So it kind of, in short, without being too scientific, it basically triggers all the endorphins and serotonin, all that happy stuff that people need. And that's kind of your natural mood booster. So you'll experience that a lot when you kind of finish a race. You'll hate it, finish. And that joy, that elation you feel is part of those endorphins and that serotonin. So forget racing, just, if you're just going out you had a really bad day, stress is on top of you, you get out, you go for a run, you might not want to do the run, you might be running, you might not want to carry on, but one thing I would say to anyone is finish the run, do exactly what you said you were going to do, because when you finish, you feel miles better. When you're getting up early or even just squeezing in a quick hour, you feel so much better for doing it than not doing it. And it's that build-up of doing those runs, which forget about, being faster or being fitter. For that one intention, you will feel less stressed. You won't be quote unquote moody or as moody. You'll feel so much better for it. And that basically, adding those runs into your day will build like some form of structure, but I'm not sitting here as a doctor or a guru, it won't completely eradicate your mental health, but it'll make you feel a damn sight better than not doing anything at all and literally coming back from a stressful day at work and just sitting down and thinking about work. And this doesn't need to actually be, which I'll make a point now, it doesn't actually have to be just running. This can be the gym. This can literally be going out for a walk with a dog. Like, don't finish or be in that kind of mind frame of when you finish work or anything in life that's stressful. I think we all resort to work. I mean, like I said, the book that I'm talking about is like mental health in work and stuff like that. But just getting out, getting a bit of fresh air, kind of resetting yourself, and then carry on with your night, you'll feel miles better for it. It'll help with your sleep. You won't just be going to bed really stressed and anxious and stuff, so you'll be more chilled out, more relaxed, probably be able to sleep better, probably be able to just carry on with life a little bit better. So it'll help reduce that cortisol. So for anyone who doesn't know, cortisol is the kind of the stress hormone. So apparently we have loads of it, more so in today's day and age than we did years and years ago. Probably because, work's a lot harder than it used to be. There's a lot more things going on. There's a lot more points of contact we now have with other people thanks to like our phones and stuff. So we can never really like completely switch off. You can go to all these retreats if you want in the woods, but there's still people there. There's still stresses. There's still like loads of planes flying over. There's loads of triggers for people in this world. So it's very hard to kind of stay calm in it. So running is just such a good one to just reduce that cortisol, lower some of that stress that you're feeling, promotes like a bit of calm. So stick a podcast on if you want to. Personally, for me, that probably wouldn't work. Just some like loud banging music, really kind of like blast the stress out. Go for a run. For me, it's usually a fast run that's just like short, sharp. Let's just blast it out. Feel so much better for it. And kind of, if you find a good set of mates, or even just on your own, but a good set of mates to go out with, you can actually just zone to it, long or short run with your mates, just chatting, just talking it out like your day. The other person probably isn't like listening because they're going through the similar thing. And then you just go back and forth and listen to other people's opinions will actually kind of make all those issues that you thought you had for the day so much better, so much easier. You just think, oh, why was I even stressing about that? Now, I can't speak for people that have severe mental health problems, but, on a regular level, like only from my point of view, going out and doing those things and running and talking to people, just like chatting it out, you actually realise things are a lot better than you thought. And what you're really stressing about is kind of that quote that people say, like first world problems, But to me, those stresses might be a big issue because I've just been in it all day and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. All of a sudden someone speaks to you on a different level and you're just like, actually, that isn't as bad as what I thought. So I did what most people do and go through TikTok and look at things, and there was a common phrase that people were saying is like kind of running saved me. There's a lot of people that never ran before, had mental health issues, started running, and that kind of saved them. That kind of opened up a different world that they never knew about, and they're a lot better for it. So like running saved me. And I think probably anyone who's not just started running because of mental health, but just been running and it's helped their mental health, running probably has saved them in a way. And that could be from just opening up their mind to see other things a different way, meeting new people, getting a new group of friends, realising kind of the life that they used to have or currently had wasn't the one they wanted. So it probably did save people in a certain way. And from kind of my point of view, if you're talking about me, running or probably exercise first. So like, gym classes, like workouts, stuff like that, probably saved me, not from going down having a mental health crisis, if you will, but it definitely saves me every time I run and every week from like high levels of stress. So if I don't run on a day that I had it actually planned, or I've had a really tough week, I'm just moody, not like depressed or anything like that, but I just know that the exercise really helps me, and without it, it really gets me down, and I just get all niggly and arsey, and probably people around me will realise that. I just give me just half an hour. just going to go out, come back. I ended up running quite a lot and just thinking about like new topics, just thinking about different things in life, thinking about things I want to do. And it's just you're running and it's peaceful and you've got your headphones on, and half the time I'm not running with anyone, so it's just nice just to be out there. Obviously, as I'm filming this now, we're in a massive, to the UK it is a massive heat wave, so it's like 29, 30, 31 degrees. It's a bit too much to go out and run. Going out early in the mornings, and to be fair, stress I've had over the last few days is not being able to sleep because it's too hot, struggling to get to sleep, waking up super early, and then when I'm waking up I don't have any energy and it's super warm and it's like niggly and I don't want to go out for a run now because it's so warm. And the heat just gets to me and I start like pissing with sweat. And I hate it and I get arsey. And half the time when I'm getting back now when it's been warm, I feel like I'm in more of a shitter mood than I was when I first started. So the last 3 days I've kind of just not done any running, listened to how I feel in those situations and been like, just this week's not the week, but next week, get back to it, hit it hard, get back to what I used to do when it was going to be a lot cooler. So just using, for me, this isn't like my little piece of this whole thing, but for me, the running in a way did save me. It just makes you feel miles better. I personally can't really stress it enough. Just that initial fear that you have about putting your shoes on, being like, oh, I can't be arsed doing this. But I'm saying I can't be arsed whilst I'm tying my shoes, whilst I'm putting my shorts on, whilst I'm putting my top on, whilst I'm walking out the house, and then I press my watch to start, and then I just think, well, we're in it now. And I'm weirdly like, it's like that scenario where you're being held back by your mates in a fight, and you're like, yeah, I'll have him. And it's like, well, you're fighting this so much, just let go of him and see if it happens. And I don't end up fighting. And I don't end up fighting the run or anything like that. I just go out of the house and get on with it. So adding those runs in each week, if you're just looking at just adding runs in just for stress, weekly will help, builds consistency, potentially down the line helps any mental health, helps like, emotional clarity, helps your stress levels. It just gives you a bit of a sense of progress. So you're just like, this week's actually not been that bad. I just needed a different thing to focus on to then open my mind and bring me full circle to then realise that it actually isn't that bad. So running kind of isn't just exercise. It isn't just the goal to be faster or quicker or stronger or fitter or whatever it is. It's just sometimes just a bit of that emotional care that sometimes people need. And I know this episode I've just focused on running, but you can just phrase this for walking or hiking. Sometimes I've gone for a walk up like a mountain, been stressed out the whole way, got to the top and just thought, this is what it was worth. This is what it was worth. This is perfect. Feel so much better for it. Walk down, carry on about your week. Really just simple stuff, free stuff, really easy to do. So I've put down a few tips for mindful running. So me and Connor spoke about this before, but obviously I've also joked about not charging my watch or leaving my watch at home. But sometimes you're running, my phone is attached to my watch. I just want to run I'm getting notifications from my phone to my watch, and it just feels like you never escape it. So leave your watch at home. All the Strava people out there will probably go mad now. Can't post it on Strava, but sometimes just forget about it. Leave the watch at home, leave your phone at home, forget the playlist. Just go out, focus on where we are. It's near the sea, near the beach, just people plodding about the day. Just kind of focus on like breathing, which is just full on Zen guru over here, but breathe in, just be really chilled. All your surroundings, just enjoy it, just take it in, and just forget about like this phone that just occupies your life and contributes to your stresses. Just be in a different world. Just chill out. Like just breathing techniques. So really focus on that, like in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. It'll help with like you running in general, because you're not just sucking air in through your mouth and trying to get rid of it at the same time. So it'll just allow you to just practice all those things. Think about your stride. Just think about absolutely nothing. And sometimes thinking about absolutely nothing is better than constantly being switched on in society. You know, there's been times where I've just done like a 5K and then literally done half an hour of just stretching. So, like I said, where we are near the beach, you can just stretch, enjoy, completely chill out, relax, then finish your run and carry on about your day. It's really just that simple. I've kind of, on TikTok, I saw people, I don't know if this would be too far for me, but they start and end their run with like 2 minutes of silence and ground themselves. So they take the shoes and the socks off and feel the earth between their feet and the toes. And apparently that centralizes you, that stabilizes you to the world and to the earth. I mean, please feel free to try that. I've never tried it myself, so may have to try it after saying that, but apparently that really chills you out. So those are some tips. There's probably loads of tips. Those are just a few ones I kind of got off TikTok, but out of those 4, a big one would literally just be to just leave your watch and phone at home. Just forget about it. Switch it off. Leave it. And just go out. And that separation from a device that we all need now as humans is just amazing. There isn't often that you can do that. And probably when you go back to your phone, you've probably got a million messages, but it's just good sometimes. Just get out, stretch your legs, fresh air, back home, have your tea, sorted, chill out on the sofa. And those stresses may still be there, but your mind is like mentally just more switched on, or just more aware of what's happening. And you can look at it with like a fresher mind. And I think sometimes that's what we need. And we just seem to be like, we have to fix this now. We have to do this now. The world is going to end now if we don't do it. And leaving your phone for half an hour and coming back to it, the world's not going to end. You know, your life won't have blown up. It's just more important to have better mental health sometimes than constantly replying to messages. And running kind of kills 2 birds in terms of helping your mental health and helping you physically. So to get fitter, to lose weight, just to get out the house. So a little challenge for anyone. Please don't twitch when you do it, but go out for a short run this week or a long run. Last year did coast to coast with literally no phone and no headphones. So I did 55k, just raw dogged it. Probably wouldn't advise that. It was a bit hellish over the Yorkshire hills, but you know, I'm still here, I'm still alive, still kicking it. So go for a short run or a long run. No music, no watch. Just kind of breathe, move and run. And kind of be present in the day, not focused on like the next thing and the next thing. Just give yourself that half an hour of just complete free time. So if you do that challenge this week, let me know. You know, send us a DM on the podcast or comment to this video on YouTube, however you want to watch it. You know, my personal Instagram's actually on the podcast as well. So, you know, send me a message or do whatever. But please, you know, at least try one run this week when you're listening to it with just nothing. Just literally just run with your clothes on or your clothes off. If people allow it where you are. But yeah, please let me know how you get on. Please let me know any topics that you want me to talk about in the future. I've got a few more. I've got loads planned actually. But let me know on any topics. Please like, share, comment on any of the videos. Everyone who's supported so far, really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Please join our Strava Run Club. There's plenty of people on there that will be able to help with any of the mental health, maybe encourage you to get out by seeing other people run. So yeah, please join the Run Club. Any other questions, any other comments, please let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.